For years, most Rush fans believed one thing was certain: Neil Peart could never be replaced. And Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson agreed. After Neil's passing in 2020, they repeatedly made it clear that Rush, as everyone knew it, had come to an end. The chemistry of those three musicians was simply too unique to recreate. Permawheel, musicradar.com. So when the 50-something tour was announced with German drummer Anika Nilles, many fans asked the same question: how can Rush return without replacing Neil Peart? The answer wasn't about finding the next Neil. It was about finding someone who respected his legacy enough not to imitate him. And that philosophy changed everything. In the next part, we'll see why Anika became the one drummer Geddy and Alex believed could honor Neil without trying to become him. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson weren't searching for a drummer who could copy every famous fill Neil Peart ever played. They wanted someone with a strong musical identity who also understood the spirit behind Rush's music. That's where Anika Nilles stood apart. Long before joining the 50-something tour, she had earned worldwide respect for her creative grooves, technical precision, and expressive style. Critics and fellow musicians praised her ability to make complex rhythms feel natural instead of mechanical. What impressed Geddy and Alex most was her approach. Rather than trying to be Neil, Anika focused on serving each song while honoring the parts fans knew and loved. That balance of respect and originality convinced them they had found the right musical partner. But there was one rehearsal moment that erased any remaining doubt, and that's where the story gets even more interesting. As rehearsals continued, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson began to realize something important. Anika Nilles wasn't simply learning drum parts. She was learning the conversations that had always existed inside Rush's music. She studied Neil Peart's arrangements carefully, preserving the signature moments fans expected, while also responding naturally to Geddy's bass lines and Alex's guitar work. That musical connection helped rehearsals feel less like an attempt to recreate the past and more like a celebration of it. Instead of forcing the band to relive old performances note for note, Anika gave the songs fresh energy without losing their identity. For Geddy and Alex, that was the breakthrough. They weren't replacing their longtime friend. They were finding a respectful way to keep his musical legacy alive. But the biggest test was still waiting: the fans themselves. When the first performances began, many longtime Rush fans watched with mixed emotions. Some were excited, while others wondered if anyone could possibly do justice to Neil Peart's legendary parts. It didn't take long for many of those concerns to fade. Audiences saw that Anika Nilles wasn't trying to imitate Neil's every movement or turn the shows into an impression. Instead, she delivered the music with confidence, precision, and genuine respect for what made those songs special. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson also made it clear that this wasn't a Rush reunion meant to replace the past. It was a celebration of the music they created together with Neil. That message came through in every performance, reminding fans that the goal wasn't to rewrite history, it was to honor it. Still, one final question remained. What does this mean for Neil Peart's lasting legacy? As the tour moved forward, one message became impossible to miss. Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Anika Nilles were not trying to recreate the impossible. They were celebrating a legacy that had already been secured. Neil Peart's influence remained at the heart of every performance, from the carefully preserved drum arrangements to the respect shown whenever his name was mentioned. His contributions weren't being rewritten. They were being remembered. Anika's role was to help the music live on, not to step into Neil's place. By bringing her own musicianship while honoring the original spirit of the songs, she allowed Geddy and Alex to reconnect with music that had defined much of their lives. That delicate balance became the emotional core of the tour. But in the end, the greatest lesson wasn't about finding another Neil Peart. It was about understanding why there never could be one. In the end, the story of Anika Nilles joining Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson isn't about replacing one of the greatest drummers in rock history. It's about recognizing that Neil Peart's place can never be filled. His songwriting, lyrical vision, and revolutionary drumming remain a permanent part of Rush's legacy, and Geddy and Alex have consistently emphasized that no one can truly take his place. What Anika brought was something different: respect, musical excellence, and the confidence to perform these iconic songs without pretending to be someone else. By honoring Nilles' work while staying true to her own voice, she helped make it possible for the music to be heard live again in a way that felt authentic rather than nostalgic. For many fans, that's the greatest tribute of all. Neil Peart's legacy wasn't preserved by imitation. It was preserved by musicians who understood why his artistry was so unique. And perhaps that's the lasting message of this chapter. Legends are never replaced, but their music can continue to inspire new generations when it's performed with honesty, humility, and heart. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Which Neil Peart performance or Rush song do you think best captures his incredible legacy?